Excellent. So today we are going to be starting on learning how to write an essay. And that's what we're going to be spending the next couple of weeks on. In fact, the rest of the semester we'll be learning how to write essays, different kinds of essays, and just essays in general. Now, can anyone tell me the definition of an essay? Does anyone know what an essay is? Or the purpose of an essay? Okay, it's a composition. It can be small, but small is relative. Okay, how's it like a book report, Tristan? Okay, to state your opinions. Good. Written expression of its author's opinion. Excellent. So the definition that we're going to go with is that an essay is a written expression of its author's opinion. Good. Excellent. So if that's what it is, what is its purpose? Why do people write essays? To convince others? To express your opinion about a subject. Okay? And obviously you want to express it in such a way that you convince the other person that you're not loony in having that opinion, completely crazy. Okay? The purpose then is to communicate, to express your opinion. Now, have you ever expressed your opinion about anything? Okay then, you guys are going to be great then. Okay. You've got the purpose of an essay down. Okay? If you've expressed an opinion about something. Okay? So, an essay is not something to be afraid of. Okay? It's very daunting for a lot of people, but if you just think of it in terms of its purpose and its definition, you're just expressing your opinion because you want to share your opinion with someone else. Okay? Now, the thing that we're going to be learning this week, and we're going to be focusing on how to have an opinion that you can actually write on. Okay? What is a good opinion to write on? Because not every opinion is going to work as an essay. Okay? So we're going to be learning that firstly. What's a good opinion to write an essay on? And that's going to lead us to how to write a thesis statement. And a thesis statement is very, very important for your essay because your thesis statement will be what your essay will be about. Okay, and we'll learn the definition of a thesis statement later. So let's review the chapter that you read in The Lively Art of Writing, which remember is talking about from opinion to thesis. Okay? From opinion, well, what is opinion? Okay. So, the purpose of all writing is to communicate, to share knowledge, to share ideas, to share feelings, to say to the world, this is the way things are. Okay? And an essay is no different. Okay. All right, let's keep on topic, everyone. Let's not start sharing opinions willy-nilly until I say so. All right. Okie dokie. So let's start by looking at the questions that you guys answered on the chapter. So, what is the difference between opinion and fact? What is the difference between opinion and fact? according to the first chapter of the lively art of writing. Callie, yes.
Facts are things that are like proven, like everyone knows like that grass is green. But an opinion is something that you think, like your idea.
Okay, good. Excellent. Does anyone have anything to add or to adjust from your reading of the chapter? That was very good. Well done, Callie. John, yes?
I'm not sure if this is to adjust from the chapter, but we may not be there yet, but when it said that the essays need to be written about opinions, not facts, for the most part.
Okay.
There would be certain facts that would make good essay topics, like Christianity, but yet some people would dispute it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think I get what you're saying there. So Christianity would be a topic, and then you would obviously have to go and say what you're going to say about Christianity. And it's not that facts have no place in an essay. Okay, it's just you can't write an essay on a fact. Okay, so like Callie was saying, if I was to write an essay on this thing, grass is green. Okay, is that going to make for a very interesting essay? Why not? Okay, and not just because you find grass boring. Okay. What's going to make this fundamentally a bad essay to write on? Tristan, yeah.
Because some grass is not green. There is some grass that's yellow, some grass is brown, and some where there is no grass.
Okay. Good. Excellent. So, not all grass is green. Number one. Okay. But grass, when it's alive, okay, when it's at its healthiest, is green. Okay. It's not going to be purple. Okay. So, not all grass is green, that's true, but also, everyone knows that grass is green. Okay? When it is healthy, obviously. Okay? So if everyone already knows, what are you going to say in this essay? Because what you can't do is say, okay, first paragraph, grass is green. Second paragraph, because grass is green. Third paragraph, grass really is green, despite all of your opinions. And then conclusion, so we all see that grass is green. Okay. Grass is green is a fact. Okay. What would make this an interesting essay? Keeping the idea of grass is green. Okay, you can't say, oh well, do you believe grass is green? Is that your opinion? Oh no, sir, I believe grass is orange. Okay, well, sir, you are colorblind. I'm sorry to say. Okay, you can't go on, well, what do you think? Right? And that's a problem as well. But you could do a history of green grass. What would a history of green grass be? How would we write an essay on the history? Okay, the development of certain kinds of grass. There, the greenness will just be a fact within it. Okay? The fact that grass is green might be a fact that you use within your essay, but you're going to say, okay, how long has grass been around? Are there different kinds of grasses? The development of fake grass. How did we get to the point that we want to develop fake grass? Okay? But have you noticed that in order to get to a better topic, what are you guys doing? You're asking questions. Exactly. Okay? So you've got this fact, grass is green. Everyone knows it. Okay? But in order to write an essay on it, you're asking questions. Why is grass green? Okay? What about fake grass? Okay? What else? What are some other questions we could ask to this fact? Grass is green. Why is grass? Is that a question? Just why? Just why? Why would you do that to us? Because green. Okay, is grass the greenest thing in the world? Oh, grass is greener on the other side. That might be interesting. There we would do a quote. Obviously we would say it's always greener on the other side, but let's just say grass is greener on the other side. Okay, that's an interesting fact, a thing about grass, an opinion regarding it. Okay, but what we want to see here is that, going back to our question, the difference between opinion and fact is a belief not based on absolute certainty or positive knowledge. Okay, opinion is a belief not based on absolute certainty or positive knowledge, but on what seems true, valid or probable to one's mind, what one thinks. Okay, i.e., it all comes down to your judgment. Okay, so let's look at these questions. Why is grass green? Well, what would you talk about? You would talk about science, wouldn't you? You would talk about the sun. You would talk about the scientific nature. How is all kinds of plants green? Okay, well, there's a whole system within the plants. Okay, getting sun and creating energy and water and food from the ground and all of these different things. Okay, you have the fact that God created it. Okay, now these are going to be part of your answer. Why is grass green? What about fake grass? Well, what about fake grass? You can go all kinds of directions with that. What was the founding of green grass, fake grass? Okay. First, what is it? But why do we have it? So the question there you might be asking is why? And that could give you an opinion. Okay? Because fake grass doesn't die. Because it jolly well stays green. That's why we have it. for aesthetics. Okay? I could say that, and you could be like, well, no, it's really just because it's helpful in sports to have something that is continually there rather than being run away and treaded on. Okay? Like, okay, well, let's see. Those are both true. We'll see what we write about. Okay? Alright, next one. So, how important are facts in an essay? So it says facts can't be what your essay is about. Okay, hang on to your question, John. I'll get to that in just a bit. So what did you guys get from the chapter? Tori?
So I think, like, facts are important, but in an essay, opinions are more important. Like, people want to read essays and hear what you think, and not, like, facts that, they already know that grass is green. So they don't want to, like, hear just.
Okay, good. Does anyone have anything to add from what they read in the chapter? That was really, really good. Well done, Tori. That's perfectly correct. Good job. So it's not that you say, well, if that's the case, I am not going to use a single fact in my essay. Okay? If my essay needs to be on opinion, then I'm just going to do opinions the whole time. Okay? And that will make a good essay. We can't do that because facts are important in essays. Okay? Because facts provide a framework or foundation. So to convert the facts to an opinion, one must make a judgment about the facts. Okay? So going back to our graph. What did we do? We asked questions and we made a judgment about the whole idea of grass being green. The fact about grass is green. What do? We made a judgment about that fact. Why is it? Okay? Because of this. Why fake grass? When did it start? All these questions. We're going to make a judgment about that. Okay? And you might use facts to make that judgment. Now, is one opinion as good as another? What do you guys think? I'm getting a lot of no's. John?
I'm just going to read what I wrote on the questions. Our opinions need to have a good case.
Okay. So, what makes a good opinion then? I'm concentrating on my questions. So if not all opinions are as good as each other, what we have to ask is, what makes a good opinion? If it has good points, true. If there can be made a better case for them than an opposing one, good. Okay. Now, John, what you're saying is that they need something, don't they? By saying that they have to be better than the opposing position to your opinion, what does that mean that your opinion has? What makes it interesting? good facts to back it up. That's true. You need to have it, your opinion needs to be founded on facts. But I'm looking for something else. Okay. I'm going to give you an opinion. And I want you to tell me whether you agree with it or whether you don't. Okay. Here's my opinion. I think that reading is better for your brain than video games. You disagreed before I even said it. Okay. So, were there any disagreements there? Did anyone disagree? Okay, now don't change my point. Okay, my point is reading is better for your brain than video games. Now, I've got lots of agreements, but I also see some disagreements. Tristan Thiessen, Nathan, was it Nathan? No, video games are good. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying reading is better for your brain. Okay? So, what I've got here are some disagreements. I've got majority of agreements, but I have some who disagree. And that's what we need for an interesting opinion. Okay? What we need is opposition. Okay? The best opinions usually have opposition. Okay? Now, obviously, what may happen is I'll say that and you say, well, yes, okay, well, I have to give you this element, but at the same time, I think that video games actually are more helpful for your brain because of this. Okay, those of you who disagreed with me are going to have to come back and say, okay, well, I think this, and the reason why I think this is this, this, and this. Now, notice what I'm not saying is I like reading better than video games. Am I? Okay? If I say I like reading better than video games, can you guys say, that's terrible? That's a lie. You've got it completely wrong. Can you argue with my opinion there? No, because I just like reading better than video games, or video games better than reading. Okay? I'm just saying something that I like. That's my opinion. I like it. Okay? But you can't argue with that. You say, well, I disagree, because I like video games better than reading, whereas you like reading better than video games. But I can't write an essay on the fact that I like video games, reading better than video games. That's going to be a really boring essay. I can tell you why. But no one's going to be able to argue with me. They're just going to have to say, well, good for you. I like video games better than reading. But you go ahead, like reading better than video games. Okay? Congrats. Thumbs up. See ya. Okay? They're not going to argue with me because I've just said that I like it. Okay? So what you need, what makes one opinion better than another, is that good opinions have opposition. So value judgments, this is better than that, almost always have a clear-cut opposition. So any questions so far? Everyone get where I'm going? Alright, let's continue. So assuming that the writer has an adequate background in his subject, would American foreign policy be a good general subject for an essay? Why or why not? So this is question 4.
Yes, because
Corey.
if he knows a lot about it, then it'll be like easy for him to express his opinion about it. If he knows like all the foundation facts and everything, it'll be easier for him to say what he thinks about it.
Okay, good. Excellent. Anyone have anything else to add from what they got in chapter John? Yes.
That's basically what I got, except I said that too that if it was an opinion, then it would, but if it was just telling all.
Okay, good. So assuming that he's giving his opinion about American foreign policy, then it would be a good subject in general, as long as you pick a specific topic for an argument for your opinion. Okay, you can't just argue American foreign policy in general. You have to actually say something about American foreign policy. Either it needs to work a lot more on this, or this is the way it's flawed, or this is its fundamental error, or this is its fundamental best point. Okay? So, yes, it's a good general subject for an essay. Okay? And the reason why is because we're going back to our previous question. What makes it a good opinion or a good general subject to make an opinion on? What does a good opinion need? Facts, yes, but opposition. Opposition is the big one. Okay? Yes, it needs facts to back up your opinion, but your opinion needs to have opposition. Okay? Now, the reason why this would be a good general subject topic is because this is not a subject that most agree upon. Okay? So this is going to be very interesting to a lot of people, because people disagree about this all over the place. Okay? So assuming that the writer has adequate background, this will be a good essay. It has plenty of opposition. People think all kinds of things about this subject. Okay? So, lots disagree. Alright. Your next question was giving you certain titles on what would be the best essay topic. So, the titles below are grouped around particular subjects. Okay, so the subjects are set. The question is which title in each group would make the best essay topic and why? So, in our first one, yes, and I will be putting this on Classreach. Sewing as a hobby, clothes you make yourself, sewing is suddenly in, and how to make a pleated skirt. What would be a good topic? And you can say between A, B, C, and D. Okay? Getting some A's, getting some C's. Okay. Let's have a look at letter A. First question. If you were to see an essay with this as your title, would you guys read it? Would you be like, ooh, this is gonna be fun? Okay, some of you would be interested. Maybe. But just think, how many books are in the world? How many pieces of writing are in the world? Tons. Lots. Which means that if you're writing on something, you are fighting for someone's attention span. Okay? Someone's attention. Just think, you could be playing a video game in the other room. Now are you going to pick it up? Probably not. I would guarantee that most of you would prefer to play a video game. Okay? Then read on that essay saying sewing is a hobby. Okay? Now, although someone who has sewing as a hobby will know a lot about it, okay, is anyone going to dispute the fact that sewing could be a good hobby? Or that you like sewing as a hobby? Probably not. Okay? Getting opposition to that title is going to be pretty difficult. Okay? So getting interest and opposition are two things that you probably won't gain with the number A. What about the number C? Sewing is suddenly in. You guys agree? If I was to say that, sewing is suddenly in. Nope. No one agrees with me. I'm going to have to prove my point. So, the best one out of all of these is letter C, because you could have an opinion as to why sewing is suddenly popular. You're asking a why question. Why is sewing suddenly in? Well, I think it's because of this. Okay? Alright, so that's our first one. What about our next one? Cars for teenagers. Driver training programs cost too much. Twin carburetors and styling on the latest sports models.
Question. I was wondering, like,
which one would be a good one? Tori.
The question we just did. If I did A, when I answered the questions, would that be counted off?
No. I'm not going to count you off for answering those questions. It's just I want you to ask them so that you can think about them before class, and then we'll discuss them. So yeah. Alright. So a lot of you saying F, some of you saying H. Let's have a look. Is there an opinion in cars for teenagers? Letter E. Do we have an opinion there? What's the opinion? Most people don't want a teenager having a car. In terms of how many people have cars, drive cars, teenagers are probably the least widely accounted for.
And some teenagers, some could have medical conditions where they're not able to drive.
That's true. That would be the same for literally any human being, but yes, that's true. So the cars for teenagers really doesn't say much. You're like, so what angle are you coming from? I don't know what you're trying to say by that title. But cars for teenagers, just off the bat, I'm thinking, okay, well, I don't know really your opinion about this, so I can't give you any opposition. There will be teenagers that drive. Okay, but you haven't given me any opposition. Alright. Letter, F. driving training programs cost too much. Does that have an opinion? Yes, it definitely does. Okay? Now some of you might think, well, that's a fact. Well, what does too much mean? Okay, it depends on how rich you are, I guess. But even those who are rich and can afford it might say, well, it's still too much. Okay?
Well, your parents could teach you how to drive, so it wouldn't be that much.
Okay, so there's opposition there as well, as just proved. Okay, so letter F is going to be the best topic because you could argue why the programs cost so much. Why do they cost so much? Is it because they're just trying to make money off of you? Or is it because learning how to drive is actually really, really important? Okay? Just think of how much damage you could cause if you don't learn how to drive properly. Okay? And you have a ton of people on the road that don't know how to drive properly. It's pretty important.
They might cost a lot, but then
yeah.
if you don't know, if you can't drive well and you get into like a big car accident, then you might have to pay a lot of money. So if you don't learn how to drive well, so it might be, because then you would have to pay a lot of money. So you might have to pay money either way. So
Good. Yeah. So there's lots of different reasons why you could argue, or how you could argue. Okay? You aren't allowed to drive if you can't drive well. I tell you what, Nathan, why don't you write an essay on that? On the opposition. Okay, you don't have to. But the very fact that you're pushing against my opinion is a good thing. Okay? It actually shows that the opinion actually is a good opinion to write an essay on. Okay, as long as you have the facts to back it up. Okay. Alright, next one. Moby Dick, the symbolism in Moby Dick, the character of Ahab in Moby Dick, and Moby Dick, America's greatest novel. Okay, we've got some different ones. Now, you've all been saying which ones you think is correct. Remember, you have to have an opinion and you have to have opposition. Okay? Which one has an opinion, expresses an opinion, and has opposition? The last one. Yes. Letter L. I don't have an opinion and I have no opposition to just Moby Dick. Okay, because I have no idea what you're going to say about Moby Dick. The symbolism in Moby Dick would be an interesting title. I have no idea what you're going to say. So I don't know your opinion, which means that I can't really oppose that. Okay? I can't really oppose that. Because the fact that symbolism is in Moby Dick, I don't know. Sure. But I'm not going to disagree with you. Oh, Moby Dick doesn't have symbolism. Okay? Because I'm likely to not know what I'm talking about. Okay? The character of Ahab might be an interesting topic. But again, you're not saying anything. You're not showing your opinion. There. Okay? I can't disagree with you about the character of Ahab. You said nothing about him. But the last one, Moby Dick, America's greatest novel, I could say, wait a second, Moby Dick isn't America's greatest novel? What are you talking about? Okay? Jude, yeah.
couldn't the second to last one still work if you actually...
Okay, yeah. So they could be good topics as long as you actually said an opinion about it. Yeah. So we're just saying what is the best title, just from what we know an essay should be. Okay? That's what the book is asking. Not saying, well, you shouldn't write about symbolism, because that wouldn't make it a good essay topic. Or you shouldn't write about a character. It's more like, okay, from what we know about what an essay should be, which title is going to be the best? And out of all of those, the last one's going to be the best because the last one shows us that it's going to have opposition and it's got an opinion. Okay? So it would be letter L because you have to argue why you think this is the best novel and others are going to disagree with you, most likely. Yeah.
Well, Moby Dick can be anything in those 4 letters. Because Moby Dick, you can have chapters within the essay. Or paragraphs. Well, Moby Dick can be the symbolism of Moby Dick.
What do you mean?
And
what's your point?
Talked about Ahab's character. And, I don't know what letter L is. Whatever letter L is.
Okay. So yeah, Moby Dick is in every single title. The question is, do you have an opinion and do you have an opposition? That would be the question that you want to ask. Alright, let's keep on pressing on. Very quickly, the next one, why should students study literature? High points in American literature, literature in relation to history. Most students can't read. Which one has the opinion, clearly expressed, and which one is most likely to be disagreed with? Letter P, yes, most students can't read, at which point my whole English class goes, excuse me, I can read. I read this chapter. Okay? And then they also says, well, what I mean by read is, did you understand the chapter? Okay. You don't know what the author's going to say, but most students can't read is controversial. Okay? However, one could make an argument about the level of reading today's student has mastered. Okay? You can make an argument. Now, it might not necessarily be that your essay at the end of the day says that most students can't read full stop. You're going to have to explain what you mean by read, okay, and the age of the students, okay, and all of that thing, all of those different things. You've got to back up your opinion by fact. But just from the title, this is going to be controversial, and the argument you make regarding it is likely going to have some sort of opposition anyways. Okay? Alright. We are at time, so we'll continue looking at this. Your assignment for tomorrow is to come up with some opinions. Okay? To come up with some opinions. So what you're going to do is you're going to work through the assignments on page, let's see, page 24 of the Lively Art and Writing. Okay, page 24, assignments 1 through 4. Okay, so number 1 says write a one-sentence opinion based on each of the subjects. Laughter, art, fear, apples. You notice that these are they just give you one word. You have to have an opinion about them though. Okay? How do you come up with an opinion about apples? Okay? And remember that what makes for a good opinion, for a good essay topic, does it have opposition? Okay? and you're going to choose one of your opinions, and you're going to write 3 facts about it. Okay? 3 facts about it. Facts meaning that no one's going to argue with those facts, but they support what you're saying. Okay? And then I want you to write 1 sentence of an opinion that is exactly opposite to yours, and list 3 facts about that. Okay? And instead of doing 1 through 4, let's do 1 through 3. Okay? That's what I want you to start off with. Okay? Everyone clear on what they're supposed to do? Okie dokie. Very good. Excellent. Very good work. Let me pray, and then you guys are dismissed. Father, thanks so much for this day. Thank you for your goodness to us, your kindness to us, and I pray that you will bless us as we go forward into the rest of our day. In Jesus' name. Amen.